Just off San Juan's Bay lies the Caribbean Petroleum Company tank farm. Just minutes after midnight on Friday, October 23, 2009, a mighty explosion shook Puerto Rico's San Juan metro area after a spark ignited fumes there, causing an explosive chain reaction. Select elements of the Puerto Rico National Guard were ordered to mobilize almost immediately. By 5 a.m., the Adjutant General, Major General Antonio Vicens, is meeting with his staff at Joint Operations Command. By Friday afternoon, the National Guard is given command of the task force. General Vicens is named Incident Commander. Launching Operation Protect Our Community, General Vicens takes charge of more than 100 diverse state and federal agencies, marking a historic first for any National Guard organization. One of the first units to respond was the 22nd CST. The National Guard Bureau developed emergency response units called Civil Support Teams, Weapons of Mass Destruction, which mobilized during such events. CSTs are composed of full-time National Guard service members who support community emergency first responders, and Puerto Rico is home to the 22nd Civil Support Team. 22nd CST Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Carlos Rivera, arrived to the CAPECO scene quickly. Colonel Rivera said he knew the 22nd would need a bigger team.
At that time, when we liaised with the Chief of Police out there and found what was indeed happening and the prospects for the rest of the days and the following days to come, I realized immediately that we would need further assistance in order to uphold a good, solid operational tempo as far as personnel went.
A request to the Virgin Islands National Guard for support from the 23rd CST based in St. Croix was made, and in just 12 hours, 10 members of the 23rd were at Ground Zero. 23rd CST Commander Major Kenneth Aline said his team was glad to help.
Just like to say I'd like to thank Colonel Rivera, the Adjutant General of Puerto Rico, the Governor of Puerto Rico, the people of Puerto Rico for calling on the 23rd CST to come and support them. It was our pleasure, and we look forward to doing it again in the future if necessary.
CST members use strategically placed sensors called area arrays and handheld multi-ray early warning systems to monitor the air while observing for high levels of toxins and other harmful particles. The area of threat is measured by a process called modeling. 22nd CST Hazard Prediction Modeler and Operations Non-Commissioned Officer, Sergeant First Class Juan Rios, explains.
Basically, what I do is to produce computer-generated models indicating the plume, which is the general area which may be affected by any downwind hazards. I also delineate safe working areas, and my products are used to determine if there are going to be shelters in place or evacuation based on the information received.
The explosion, equivalent to a magnitude 2.8 earthquake, rocked the surrounding area, causing widespread property damage. But incredibly, no loss of life or major injuries occurred due to the early hour of the blast and subsequent fire that destroyed 21 of the 40 tanks. Puerto Rico National Guard firefighters are an important element as they support the Puerto Rico Fire Department battling the flames. Citizen soldiers from the 130th Engineer Battalion, 215th Engineer Detachment firefighting truck, and airmen of the 156th Fire Department from Muniz Air Force Base applied firefighting foam to the blaze. The foam cools the fire and coats the fuel, preventing its contact with oxygen while suppressing combustion. Puerto Rico Air Guard C-130 airplanes also saved valuable time picking up and flying back sorely needed foam from the Virgin Islands. The tank farm burned for approximately 72 hours before Puerto Rico firefighters impressively brought it to bear. 23-year veteran Air Force Master Sergeant Reynaldo Morales, Chief of Operations for the 156, said it was a good experience.
If we are needed, we want to respond. It's part of our job. It's always a pleasure and honor to serve our country. The same way you do it at war, this is the same thing. It was a really good experience.
The National Guard firefighting teams met up again during the taping for a local TV show at a San Juan armory. 215th Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge, Sergeant Jose Mendoza, says firefighting is what they do.
I think that's our job. We're firefighters. Some of us are also firefighters for the Puerto Rico Fire Department, so we do that for a living. So we love it.
In the wake of the fire, a nearby waterway known as Mosquito Creek flows through the Puente Blanco community in Cataño and was found to have potential environmental contamination after inspections there. National Guard engineers from the 130th Engineer Battalion 1010th Horizontal Construction Company worked alongside the Department of Natural Resources and Environment during a government-organized outreach mission following the CAPECO fire. Cataño Mayor Honorable Jose Rosario made visits to the community to thank the soldiers working there. He expressed a desire for people to know that National Guard don't only respond in times of war, but are a true and very large important part of the community. According to 130th Engineer Battalion Executive Officer Major Edwin Cruz, the 1010th soldiers would clear the area to meet DNRE standards so the municipal government could begin contamination containment and clean up the creek.
We're right now trying to clear the creek so that the water flows in a better manner and improves the health of the creek by doing so, while the Department of Natural Resources is clearing all the contaminants that they have seen in the area.
Staff Sergeant Edwin Soto, 1010th Training NCO, says they're proud to help out.
We are proud of the work that we are doing here because as a soldier, we also provide support to our community.
In recognition of the comprehensive and exceptional cooperation made by the National Guard, emergency first responders, and diverse state and federal agencies, the Puerto Rico government honored these men and women with a televised public tribute and an awards ceremony called Corazones Poderosos, or Powerful Hearts. The governor, Honorable Luis Fortuño, expressed his gratitude and gave out the awards along with the Puerto Rico Adjutant General. General Vicen said that as a part of the Puerto Rican community, the National Guard has great interest in supporting its well-being, composed of more than 10,000 men and women ready to support their local communities whenever called upon.